Good morning, fans. Welcome back to the show. Guys, time of the prize, and it's that time of year, the opening season of the NFL. The NFL regular season opener tonight at 8:20 on NBC. We got the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champions, going up against the Baltimore Ravens. This is going to be a good one. What a way to start off the season. Two great teams going at, two great quarterbacks dueling it out for the first game of the season. We'll make our picks. The Brides will make his picks for week one of the regular season, but I am so excited. Finally, football is back. So all you football fanatics, stand up and give yourself a round of applause. It seems like so long ago we were just watching the Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the 49ers. Now we're back to reality. We're back to good times. Fall's right around the corner. It's going to be awesome. That means football season. That means Cider Mill Donuts. That means, Michigan football. That means Detroit Lions football is back. Fantasy football. All you fantasy football fanatics out there playing fantasy football with your friends and family. It's a great time. It's a great time. My favorite time of the year, and I'm sure for a lot of people out there, it's their favorite time as well. So yeah, we got opening night tonight. We got college football this weekend. We'll dive into that a little bit. Talk about Michigan, their victory against Fresno State last week, and then the Brides will provide his commentary as how Michigan will do against Texas this coming Saturday. Kickoffs at noon for that. So let's dive into it, ladies and gentlemen. So we got opening night. The 2024 NFL regular season officially starts tonight on NBC. We got the defending Super Bowl champions Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes playing at home against the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. So these two teams, always a decent game, always an exciting game. Obviously, when you got Lamar Jackson, you got Patrick Mahomes, two of the top five quarterbacks in the league. Anything can happen, right? Obviously, points are going to be scored, plays are going to be made, great moments are going to be remembered by us sports fanatics or football fanatics. We're going to remember these moments. So why is tonight any different, right? We're going to see some magic happen. I strongly believe the Kansas City Chiefs will come out on top. They'll win this one at home. The defending Super Bowl champions will win against the Baltimore Ravens. So that's my first official pick for the 2024 NFL regular season. I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning tonight against the Baltimore Ravens because the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson, they seem to have a problem going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Looking at this stat here on stathead.com, in head-to-head matchups, Mahomes definitely has Lamar Jackson's number. He definitely takes care of business when he goes up against the Ravens. So right here, you got Patrick Mahomes is 3-1 against Lamar Jackson in the regular season, 1-0 in the playoffs. So that's a total of 4-1 against Lamar Jackson. So Lamar Jackson's 1-3 in the regular season, 0-1 in the playoffs. So I think the Lamar Jackson will struggle. He will continue those struggles. The Baltimore Ravens starting quarterback will have those struggles. Will continue the struggles with Kansas City Chiefs again tonight, going up against Mahomes, as the Kansas City Chiefs will win this one, establish their rule. I guess you can say these past few years they have become somewhat of a dynasty out there. You can compare it to the New England Patriots from the 2000s and 2000 teens. You can compare it to Pittsburgh Steelers back in the 1970s when they won 4 Super Bowls in that decade. You can compare it to the San Francisco 49ers. They won a handful of Super Bowls back in the 80s, and then you can maybe compare it to the Dallas Cowboys in the 1990s. But Kansas City's got really something going on special there. Patrick Mahomes winning 3 Super Bowls in 6 years, 5-6 years, something like that. The guy is unbelievable. He's definitely the face in the NFL. He's proven it time and time again, and I think tonight the Kansas City Chiefs get the job done. And like I said before, Lamar Jackson will continue his struggles against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. So I got Kansas City winning tonight. So place your bets, watch some football, get your fantasy football lineups ready to go. It's going to be a good one. I can't wait. Football's back, baby. The NFL has arrived. Let's do it, man. And then tomorrow night we got Green Bay going up against Philadelphia in Brazil. So that's going to be a really interesting one. Jordan Love, a lot of talk about Jordan Love, one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. And then you got Jalen Hurts, who kind of had a down year last year. I mean, compared to a couple years ago where he was absolutely phenomenal, led his team to the Super Bowl, lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. So back-to-back Super Bowl wins for the Kansas City Chiefs last year and 2 years before. So now Philadelphia looks to come back this season. I actually like this Philadelphia Eagles in this one. I believe Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles will come out strong. Green Bay Packers, watch out for them. They are going to make some noise this year in the NFC North. I still like my Lions winning the division, but Green Bay is definitely a reloaded team. You added Josh Jacobs to the mix, Christian Watson and Jordan Reed. If those two guys can stay healthy, that offense looks pretty dangerous. So Green Bay's going to make some noise this year in the NFC North. So you got that, but I got Philadelphia winning tomorrow night against the Green Bay Packers. So I got Philadelphia winning that one. And then the rest of our games, Sunday, September 8th, we got the whole lineup here. We got Pittsburgh at Atlanta. I like Pittsburgh in this one, taking care of business there. You got Atlanta with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr. Obviously, Kirk Cousins is going to get the start, but Michael Penix Jr., that was a very shocking draft pick. I was in awe, just like the rest of the crowd at this year's NFL draft. My cousin and I actually went to the draft this year. It was awesome. One of the greatest moments, one of the greatest events I've ever been to in my entire life. I've never seen that many people in one sitting in my entire life. 275,000 plus people. Day one of the NFL draft. That was a record broken for NFL draft night one. How many people showed up. It was absolutely phenomenal. I had a feeling people were going to come out in strong numbers, and they absolutely did. That's why Detroit's amazing, man. They definitely know how to show up. They're very passionate about their sports, especially when it comes to football. They know what they're talking about, and being one of those 275,000 plus people attending that draft, it was crazy. So when the Atlanta Falcons selected Michael Penix Jr., I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. It's just like, you signed Kirk Cousins. Why do you need another quarterback? It didn't make sense to me, but you know what? Maybe it'll work out for the Falcons down the line. Kirk Cousins is getting a little old, so maybe they're looking ahead, looking towards the future. But I got Pittsburgh winning this one at Atlanta this Sunday, so you got that one. You got Arizona at Buffalo. I like Buffalo in this one. Josh Allen without his biggest target, Stephon Diggs. He's with the Houston Texans now. But you got Keon Coleman, a great rookie. I think he's going to have a good season. Josh Allen was his quarterback, one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Keon Coleman, a rookie out of Florida State. He used to play at Michigan State, transferred to Florida State, had a great season last year there. So Keon Coleman making some noise perhaps this season for the Buffalo Bills. So yeah, I got Buffalo at home going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Tennessee at Chicago. I like Chicago in this one. A lot of hype around Caleb Williams. Obviously you got Odunze from wide receiver out of Washington, rookie wide receiver. He's going to make some plays. You got DJ Moore now. So I like Chicago, and they're going to make some noise too, I do believe, in the NFC North. So the Lions definitely going to have a tougher schedule this year down the line, but Chicago will win this one at home against the Tennessee Titans. So I got that game there. You got New England at Cincinnati. I like Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. He has a bounce-back year this year. Another top 5 quarterback making moves. Hopefully he comes back 100% healthy. He'll be ready to go. Jamar Chase, his number 1 receiver. So they'll make some magic this Sunday against the New England Patriots. So you got that. You got Houston at Indianapolis. So Anthony Richardson making his sophomore season start here. He missed most of the season last year with a shoulder injury, so hopefully he'll be back 100%. I like Houston, though, in this one. C.J. Stroud, sophomore year, I do believe he'll have a great season this year. In the AFC South, you got Houston, you got Indianapolis, you got Jacksonville, you got the Tennessee Titans. This is Houston's division to win, in my opinion. Houston will definitely make some noise in that division. They got Tank Dell, who was a sensation last year. I strongly believe that the Houston Texans will be successful this year. So you got Houston, Indianapolis. I got Houston winning this one on the road. they're going to take care of business in the AFC South. So you got that. You got Jacksonville at Miami. I like Miami at home in this one. Tua Tagovailoa coming back. Tyreek Hill signed a big contract this offseason. That dynamic duo will not change. I think they make some headways this year. So Miami winning that one against Jacksonville. You got Carolina at New Orleans. I like New Orleans in this one. Carolina, I just don't trust Bryce Young at all. I really don't. And that team in general, I just don't trust them at all. I got the New Orleans Saints winning that one. You got Minnesota at New York Giants. The quarterback situation in Minnesota is kind of questionable. I don't have confidence with the Minnesota Vikings winning. How their season's going to go. J.J. McCarthy's out for the season. Toward his meniscus in his knee, needs surgery. So you got Sam Darnold taking snaps. But then New York Giants, is it any better though with New York Giants? You got Daniel Jones. He hasn't really done anything. Handful of years being the starter there. Giants, I don't know. This game is going to be a crappy one. You got two bad teams going at it, but I'm going to go with the Giants at home. They really need this win to see how their season's going to go, because a lot of eyes are on them. It's New York, Any New York team is going to have a lot of eyes on them, not just in football, but hockey, basketball, baseball, a lot of eyes, big city, passionate fans. They want to see success, so you better get that win, Giants, or else they're coming for your heads. So I got the Giants winning that one against Minnesota. You got the Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. So you got the Chargers' new head coach. You got Jim Harbaugh. Obviously, he was the coach with the Michigan Wolverines for so many years. Now he's back at the pro level, coaching the Chargers. You got the Vegas Raiders. You had Josh McDaniels at the helm, and then he got fired in the middle of the season. Then you had Antonio Pierce come back, and he did a great job with them down the line. This one, I like the Vegas Raiders taking care of business in this one. Just that quarterback play, Justin Herbert. I like the guy. I like how he plays, but man, dude, he has no offensive line. He has no weapons really. All of his receivers are gone. I just don't trust that offense. And I like the Gardner Minshew, Devontae Adams setup that they have in Vegas. So I got the Vegas Raiders in that one. You got Denver at Seattle. Man, Denver, I don't even know, to be honest with you. I don't know what that team's all about, to be honest. And so with that being said, I like Seattle. They're always a tough team to beat at home. So I don't think anything's going to change with that. Seattle's going to win this one against the Broncos. And then you got Dallas at Cleveland. I like Cleveland this one. You Dallas Cowboys fans, I love Stephen A. Smith. He roasts them all the time. I just like Cleveland at home in this one. Dallas, obviously, a lot of eyes on them, a lot of eyes on Dak Prescott, but I just don't think he can get the job done. He's won 2 playoff games out of 7 tries. That's not good, especially by Dallas Cowboys standards. He will struggle in this game against Cleveland. So I got Cleveland at home taking care of business. Deshaun Watson, we'll see what he can do. I think he could have a decent year if he stays healthy. And Cleveland at home, kind of tough team to beat. So you got that. I got Cleveland there. You got Washington at Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay in this one at home. Baker Mayfield had a pretty good season last year, and they continued that success going up against the Washington Commanders because, again, another team I don't really know a whole lot about. You got Jaden Daniels, the rookie quarterback. See what he can do in his first start. You got Austin Eckler helping him out in the backfield. But I like Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield, and Mike Evans. That duo is great. They'll take care of business this Sunday. So I got Tampa Bay over to Washington Commanders. And then the Sunday night game, the primetime game for week 1, 8:20 p.m. on NBC and Peacock. You got the Los Angeles Rams coming back to Detroit to go take on the Detroit Lions. So obviously the Detroit Lions last year, that season was phenomenal. It was the story for the ages. 12-5, first playoff victory in 31 years. Dan Campbell biting kneecaps literally, taking down the Rams in the wild card round of the playoffs. That place was going nuts. I mean, you can hear it through the TV, but I can only imagine what it's like at Ford Field. So that was awesome. Then the divisional round of the playoffs, they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, that crowd going crazy, and Detroit Lions taking care of business. And then they went to the NFC championship game against the 49ers. We looked absolutely phenomenal in the first half. 24 to 7. I mean, what that, or 27-7 at one point we were up by, and we blew it. It was crazy. We were up by that much, and second half was a whole completely different story. We just fell apart. Obviously drop passes, fumbles, questionable calls on fourth down. Should we kick the field goal? Should we not kick the field goal? It doesn't matter now. That was back in the past. This is a new year, new season. We got a lot of guys coming back. So this game, I like my Detroit Lions winning this one against the Rams in a rematch from the wild card round, the playoffs last year. Detroit Lions at home. That place is going nuts. There's going to be a lot of people there, and I think that's going to play a factor in this game against the Rams. So I got the Detroit Lions winning against Matthew Stafford, his second return back to Detroit and the Rams. So Detroit's going to win that one and take care of business. And then obviously week one wraps up. Monday Night Football. You got the New York Jets traveling to the San Francisco 49ers. Aaron Rodgers is back. He popped his Achilles, tore his Achilles heel, torn his Achilles last year. He was out for the season. My brother was pissed because he had him on his fantasy football league as his quarterback. So yeah, 4 plays in, he was done. Tore his Achilles, he was done. He's back now, going against the San Francisco 49ers. That's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, the 49ers, the defending NFC champions. I like San Francisco at home, taking care of business. Brock Purdy, Brandon Ayuk just signed a big deal. You got Deebo Samuel coming back. Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs in the league. Top 5 running backs in the league going at it. But I like the San Francisco 49ers to win this one at home. So, yeah, those are the picks those are the Bryce's picks for week 1 of the 2024 NFL regular season. So, yeah, watch some football, watch some games this weekend. Obviously, we got tonight's game. You got the Chiefs and the Ravens. So, watch that one. It's going to be an exciting one. What a way to start off the 2024 NFL season. You got Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, the defending Super Bowl champions, going up against the Ravens at home. Obviously, we're probably going to see a lot of Taylor Swift, unfortunately, but it is what it is, right? So, yeah, I got the Chiefs winning that one. Watch that game. Get your lineups ready to go. Watch all the games. The Brides is going to sit back and watch a lot of football this weekend. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. So we got that going on as well. So now we got to hop over. We got to hop over from the pros to college football. College football, obviously week 1 was last week, if you want to count it week 1, because a couple weeks ago you had Georgia Tech upsetting Florida State, and then Boston College upsetting Florida State. So yeah, they're done. Florida State, yeah, they're out of the top 25. They're done. They really screwed up their season, losing against Georgia Tech in Dublin, Ireland, and then struggling very hard against Boston College, who hasn't been nobody for many years now. So, yeah, Florida State's done. We don't need to really talk about them, but yeah, you got college football. You got a couple games on tonight. But the game I really want to talk about is Michigan against Texas. Obviously, that's a primetime game, noon kickoff on Fox at the Big House. Texas kicking ass last week, 52-0 against Colorado State. Yeah, granted, it's against Colorado State. I understand that. But to score 52 points, that's crazy. And for us, struggling. Michigan struggled last week against Fresno State. I mean, at one point, it was 16-10. Our lead. I mean, we let these guys in. Our offense could not do anything. Our quarterback play was not the greatest. Kalel Mullins, our star running back, literally for that game, kept us in the game, and our defense kept us in that game. But yeah, Mullins was taking care of business. He had 15 rushes for 92 yards. His longest was 21, but yeah, he looked really good. Donovan Edwards, I did not see a whole lot of him. He had 11 carries for 27 yards. He had a receiving touchdown, like a little mini 1 yard, 2 yard receiving touchdown from Alex Orji, who was another quarterback that was being played in that game, along with Davis Warren. And Davis Warren, he went 15 for 25, 118 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 stupid interception that he threw. But yeah, we struggled a lot for like 3/4 of the game. We struggled against freaking Fresno State. And granted, they were a decent team last year. They won 9 games, so they weren't a slouch. They weren't some crappy team. Like, they were a decent team. They came prepared. Our defense saved our ass, without question. Will Johnson with that pick 6, jumped in front of the receiver, caught the ball, and he went all the way to the house. No one was catching him. That was the difference maker of that game. But yeah, our defense for 4 quarters kept us in that game. Our offense couldn't do anything. Our offensive line didn't get that push that we saw last year. Our running game wasn't the greatest, except for Kalel Mullings, doing his absolute best for what he was given. And then our passing game, Colston Loveland was a stud. He had 8 receptions in that game. And he had a touchdown. He had 9 targets, 8 receptions, 87 yards, 1 touchdown. So he was definitely the top guy, the top receiver in that game. Tyler Morris had a couple of receptions. But, Samaj Morgan, we have to get these guys going. Obviously, Texas has watched Michigan's tape, and they see Colston Loveland. You don't think they're going to try to double-team him? We got to mix it up a little bit. Tyler Morris needs to get involved. Bell needs to get involved. Samaj Morgan needs to get involved. I like to see Donovan Edwards get involved in the passing game as well, and in the running game. Get him and Mullings, that dynamic duo that we saw last year with Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. So even though Donovan Edwards didn't have the greatest season. But, Mullings, Edwards, if we can get that going, if we can get that running back system going throughout the season, that'd be great. I mean, obviously we're going to need something to go, and we need something to happen for us against Texas. Texas 52-0. Obviously, a college football playoff semifinalist last year. So what? I mean, Michigan, you gotta wake up, man. And this is against top 5 team. And then obviously with Texas being in the SEC this year, they changed conferences. So Michigan, man, get your shit together, man. This week, tomorrow, Saturday afternoon. If Michigan cannot compete with Texas, if they can't stop that offense, if our offense cannot get that push against Texas' defense, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. So Michigan definitely needs to get their heads out of their asses. Forget about last week. Last week's done and over with. Okay, focus on Texas. Okay, they're coming in hot. 52-0. All that confidence. Oh yeah, we're a big man on campus. We're gonna destroy Michigan. We're gonna ruin your fun at the big house. Second game of the season. I mentioned this last week on the podcast. This is a season-defining game for the Michigan Wolverines. They need to win this game. They need to win this game, without question, or come very close. They need to take care of business. It's gonna be tough. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna be brutal. This game is gonna be hard to watch for the first few minutes, in my opinion. But Michigan needs to come out, guns blazing. Show them everything. Throw the kitchen sink at Texas. I know it's early in the season, but this is a very important game. And I was watching the game last week against Fresno State, and it seemed like Michigan wasn't really showing everything. They were holding back on what was shown defensive-wise and offense, the play calling. Like, are we saving this for Texas? Hopefully. I mean, if I see something different against Texans, I'll be happy. But if I'm seeing the same old running plays and passing plays that were executed against Fresno State last week, I'm just going to be like, what the hell? What's the game plan? What's the game plan against Texas? Number 3 Texas, number 10 Michigan, this Saturday, noon, Fox, at the Big House. It's going to be an interesting one. Like I said, a season-defining game. Michigan has to win this one, or else it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good for the Michigan Wolverines. But yeah, how they played last week against Fresno State, I was not impressed. I was not impressed at all. That was garbage. It was a garbage performance by Michigan, 30-10. That's not even remotely close to what that game was. That we should have beaten that team by 40 plus points, 30-10, and we struggled for 3 quarters because our offense couldn't do anything. Like I said, our defense kept us in that game. So this weekend, Michigan needs to have balance on both the offense and defensive side of the ball. We need to score points. Our defense needs to come in hot. We need to create turnovers. We need to get that running game going. We need to score points. Michigan, even though I did say Michigan will struggle this game, I got Michigan winning this one. Very close game. A lot of people are already saying that Texas is going to destroy Michigan. I really hope not, but this game is definitely one for the ages. But Michigan at home, I think that crowd will help out a lot. But our offense, our offense needs to stay in there, and our defense needs to show up as well. So I got Michigan winning this one against Texas. Texas coming in hot. It's going to be a crazy-ass game. But I like Michigan at home against the Texas Longhorns. So that's going to be a good one. The noon, Fox, check that one out. Go Blue. That's going to be a good one there. See what other games we got. We got Georgia against Tennessee Tech, so that should be a blowout win there. Notre Dame with a big victory on the road last week against Texas Tech. They go up against Northern Illinois, so it looks like another victory for the Fighting Irish there. You got Auburn, California, South Carolina, and Kentucky. You got Michigan State and Maryland opening up Big Ten play against Maryland. They won last week against the Florida Atlantic University. You got Miami and Florida A&M. Let's see here. Yeah, you got Ohio State and Western Michigan. So Ohio State's going to win that one, obviously. Don't really need to go into that. Tennessee and NC State. Looks like that's going to be the night game. I got Tennessee in that one. I like Tennessee taking care of business. NC State usually plays upset alert, so that should be an interesting one as well. So I got that. I got Tennessee winning there. You got LSU going up against Nichols. Who the hell is Nichols? I don't even know who that college is. I don't think I've heard of that college ever in my entire life. But, I guess when you lose to USC, home opener, you're 0-5. Or 0-3, I do believe, and your home openers ever since you went there, Brian Kelly. Can't win the opening game, so I guess you got to rebound the following week to go up against a no-name team, a team I never even heard of. So yeah, pancake win for LSU. That's fine by me. Go ahead. Whatever's going to work for you, right? Whatever makes you feel happy. You don't have to slam tables or smack the table or blame your players for how you guys lost and choked against USC last Sunday. That was a great game, by the way. But yeah, going up against Nichols, that'll be a pancake win for you guys. So yeah, congrats to LSU. Have fun with that. Unbelievable. Boise State at Oregon. Oregon's going to take care of business there. USC and Utah State. USC is going to take care of business there. But yeah, definitely the game of the week is going to be Texas, Michigan. Come guns blazing, man. Throw the kitchen sink at these guys. Obviously, Texas with 52 points that they put up last week against Colorado State, they're not messing around. They're in the SEC now. They're trying to compete with the big boys. Michigan, Texas, 2 iconic programs. Noon, kickoff at Big House. Michigan definitely has to get that quarterback situation going. They got to get that running game going. They got to get the receivers. You can't just focus on Colston Loveland. I love how you guys were getting him involved, but you got to get Samaj Morgan involved. You got to get Bell involved. You got to get Tyler Morris involved. Get Donovan Edwards, as I mentioned earlier. Get him involved in the passing game. You do that, and then our defense comes in. Our defensive line gets sacks, and our defensive backs, our secondary, can create turnovers. We're golden. But it's going to be a very tough matchup for the Michigan Wolverines. So you got that. I got Michigan. Watch that game. The Brides is going to be watching that game. Michigan, Texas, game of the week. Check it out. Go Blue. Take care of business. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are done for today's episode. Lots of football. Football season is back officially. You got the NFL. You got college football. Week 1 of the NFL regular season starts tonight, 8:20, NBC Peacock. the defending Super Bowl champions, the Chiefs, going up against the Ravens. Patrick Mahomes is going to take care of business. The struggles for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens will continue against the Chiefs. Lamar Jackson just cannot find a way to beat Patrick Mahomes. And if you want to be an elite quarterback, if you want to be the top guy, you have to beat the top guy. Like Ric Flair says, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! You know what I mean? And Lamar Jackson has not stepped up to the plate. And those struggles will continue against the Chiefs tonight. Tonight, exactly. So, Chiefs, Ravens, check that one out. Fantasy football, get your fantasy football lineups ready to go. And then Sunday Night Football, you got the Lions and the Rams. Go Lions. They're going to take care of business. Jared Goff, I believe, is going to have another great season. He's going to take care of business. They got a lot of guys coming back. Amon-Ra St. Brown, looks like he's going to have a breakout year. J-Mo, I think he's going to bounce back from last year, and he's going to be another threat for Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions on offense. Aiden Hutchinson on defense, coming back. Alil McNeil, those guys are coming. Alex Anzalone, Kirby Joseph, Terrion Arnold, the rookie that we drafted out of Alabama. Going to make some noise this season in the NFC North. So, yeah, go Lions, go Michigan, go Blue. Watch some football tonight, and have a great rest of the weekend, guys. All right, peace out. The Bryce is out. Have a great rest of the weekend, and watch some football. Peace.